I am Fridge, and welcome to episode 49 of What If Civilization Started Over. In the last episode, at the end, it was revealed that the pink Iberian country over here has gotten a nuke. They have found a way to develop nukes, and when it gets revealed that they have nukes, all of the three other countries with nukes, that being the Nordic Union, the Persia country over here, and Korea, all going to start asking each other who gave the information to make nukes to the pink country. Now, the Nordic Union is going to look at Korea and say that Korea is fascist and that this pink country over here used to be fascist. However, Korea is going to strike back by saying that now they're a democratic country, so it would make sense for the Nordic Union to be the one supplying them. Also, this country over here no longer exists, so it does not need that. But there's a lot of back and forth, and along with that, a country nearby is pretty worried about this, that being the Goiki over here, and they're going to go to their ally, being Persia. Sorry, I don't know why I said Persia. Actually, I guess I do have some land in India, but no, this is Persia, not Persia. But they're going to ask for some nukes, and Persia will agree to put some nukes in their territory. So, updating this, what is the nuclear at again? There it is. So updating this, there is now let me make that. There would now be 37 with, 42, and then 5 of which are in a different countries, all located in a different country, because they're giving 5 over to Goiki. However, this is actually incorrect. It's actually 55 with 5 in another country, but it's still incorrect because it's actually 12 located in other countries. Now, like I said before, 5 of which will be located in Goiki. So, let me move this over here a bit more. So 5 of which are in Goiki. But that's still another 6 or 7 that are located somewhere else. So where are the others? We're looking at the alliance layer. We can see who all their allies are. And the first area that we are going to be heading over to is this country over here, Turkey Macedonia as I call it. And another 5 of their nukes are over here. But that still leaves 2 more to go. So where are those other 2 nukes? Well, they could be in a few different places. They could be in Caspia, or they could be in this country here, or they could be in a country that's pretty close to Korea, that being North Japan, and well, the other 2 are in North Japan. I'm going to make that a dark shade of red because it's there, because it looks too close to Japan. But after it's discovered that Goiki has been sent nukes. Well, Korea is going to respond by also sending some nukes. And along with that, they have also made some more nukes, and they are now at 67, with 7 of which located on a different country's territory. Let me fix this. There we go. And first of all, they're going to send 5 of their nukes over to this country here, Wales. Why is nothing typing? So they're going to send 5 over here. That is to have them close to the North Union. As for the other 2, you're probably wondering where they are. And they are over here in Belka, which borders Persia. So yeah. However, that's not the only country that we need to update the nukes for, because if we go over here to North Union, they are now at 75 nukes, with 10 of which on other territory. So where are their other 10 nukes at? Well, first of all, they're going to send some over to Greece, and they're going to send 3 over to Greece. They're also going to send some up north to this great country here, and they send 5 over here, so that still leaves 2 more to go. So where are they putting the other 2? Well, if we look at their allies, those being the country with the hearts, there's a few different places they could send them, but they are sending theirs over to this country here, which is also pretty close to Korea. So with that, there's 2 nukes over here. However, that's not all they're going to do, because other few of their allies, they're going to give information for them to make their own nukes. Those being this country down here, which will make a nuke. Along with that, they also give that information to the orange country over here. Now, they had actually already given this information over when it was discovered that... I did that wrong. Why did I do that wrong? Let me fix that. Now, that's how I want it. Now, they had already done this before the information about the pink country having a nuke was found out. However, them giving information to countries to make their own nukes will help the case of Korea that it was the North Union. However, was it the North Union? You have to wait to find out later. Anyways, heading up to this white area, we're going to see some exploration. Not some exploration because it's all been explored, but some expansion. And we're going to see this green country here. Let me turn the tolerance down. This green country here make a pretty big expansion. As they expand out a bit, we'll also see this country here, this yellow one, expand up a bit, cutting off this blue one here, but this blue one hasn't done anything for a long time, so... And we'll also see this pink one expand, and they're going to make a big expansion as well, expanding to all of this land here, and up north a bit. Along with that, this orange country here will also make a big expansion. They expand over this way, now connecting up with the North Union, and also they're going to expand all the way up to this area here. As for this small bit here, it'll get taken by the North Union, making the probably the final expansion. As the Orange Country will not stop expanding as they expand a bit more this way. We will also see this Red Country here expand a bit more. And they're also going to buy some land from this country here, buying this land here. That's just because I did not like how that looked. And this country is also going to do some expanding. Mostly focused a bit down here where it's a bit warmer. Now there's just a bit of white left. And in this white area, we're actually going to see some people from the surrounding countries that don't really want to be part of it, any of them, come over here and form their own country. This being the last thing there. Now there's just a few islands left, and other than that, there is no unclaimed land left. After a long time coming, this should have been happening a lot sooner. The capital will be pretty low down here though, because, well, pretty far south because, well, it's cold in the north, so it'll be right there. Now, the reason why this country got all the land it was is because the countries around here all wanted more land, but they couldn't agree on who would get it, and there were some people who wanted to just form their own country, and so all these countries here that surround the border of this country agreed to have it, try to have this country. Now, this orange country will do a little bit more expanding, taking this island here. And all the water turns white. No, anyways though, we will now be heading over to this area here with Florida here, who, if we look at the ideology thing, they are fascists and they want to take back all the land that the country that used to be here, or the tribe that was here before colonization happened, owned. And they have lots of troops on the border of these two countries here, and we start to see those troops push into the Carolina country as they quickly push over to this major city and take it. Now, this Carolina country, their capital, which is not shown on this map, but I will fix that quickly. What is the capital? Their capital is right there. So, it's pretty far away from these countries, or Florida to be specific, the country that's invading them. But as Florida pushes into Carolina, they are gaining support from some other countries, those obviously being the other fascist countries, and this is going to make the Louisiana country know that the Carolina country will lose in the long run, and also that they will be next, so they're going to start invading into Florida, thinking that together they could possibly beat Florida. So they start sending troops into here, pushing down towards this major city here, and surrounding it, for eventually taking it. However, Florida troops will show up and start to push back, retaking this major city pretty quickly, and pushing back towards the border over here, where they will then start to enter into Louisiana. However, Carolina will start pushing back as the Louisiana troops push up here. However, then the Carolinian troops are going to make a mistake, mistaking the Louisiana troops for order troops and attacking them, and then starting an invasion into Louisiana. Now, they claim that this was a mistake. However, there was another reason, and that is that Louisiana was getting supplies from the Democratic countries. However, they weren't really supplying Carolina, and so Carolina made a deal with the communists that if they were to invade into both Florida and Louisiana, then they would get supplies from the communists. So, with that, supplies from the communists are going to start heading over towards Carolina, and with that, they will be able to push back a bit more. However, with more and more troops coming to Florida from the fascists, they will be able to push along the coast a bit more. Now pushing towards this major city. Over in Louisiana, they're going to push back against the troops here and start a push into Carolina, pushing up and taking this major city. Also pushing around here. This country here, they united in the last episode, and they're kind of debating whether or not to join this war on the side of Louisiana or not. Now, them and Louisiana hold good relationships, but for now, they're pretty new, so they're going to stay out of this war. Which is good for Carolina and Florida, because that means that they don't have to worry about that country joining. Speaking of the two, Carolina's getting cooked by Florida, who is pushing them completely out of them, and also starting to push back against Louisiana a bit more, eventually pushing Louisiana fully out. And as Florida continues to push in, a shipment is going to end up in the capital, and what the shipment has is something that the Nordic Union and the Persian country were not expecting Korea to send over to Florida. As in this major city here, the people are going about their day normally when an incident happens, and that incident is a nuke falls on the city and kills everyone in it, or most people in it now. This nuke did not have the same amount of casualties as the nuke that fell on the Indonesian country. That's because this city is less populated. Along with that, nuclear bunkers exist now, so some people manage to survive through those. However, this bomb is going to lead to, first of all, Florida is going to sweep through Carolina now, taking this major city now, and pushing further upon the coast, getting over towards this major city here, which they will take. And along with that, this nuke is going to make in this area over here, the people here are going to rebel as they view the government of Carolina is weak, so they rebel, and they're going to make a deal with Louisiana to get this land back, which Louisiana did because, well, soon after, the Carolina government surrenders over to Florida, which means that they're going to have a lot more troops sent to Louisiana. So, Louisiana will try to hold out, however, they do continue to get pushed in until eventually they will manage to form a stalemate. And after a while, these two, along with Carolina and this rebellion, along with the Nordic Union's leader, the leader of Persia and the leader of Korea, will all sit down. They'll meet inside of the capital city of this blue country here. Actually, scratch that. They meet in the capital. They meet in this city over here. And here's a fun fact: this country was actually became rich off of this, as they were allowing Korea to, along with some other countries like Japan and this country here, and all three of these countries, which are all sending supplies. And also, I guess most of these countries actually have been sending supplies through the Panama Canal. So this country came rich off of that. And now they're holding the peace treaty. And, well, Korea is going to kind of bribe the, and like the leader of this is kind of like seeing out the peace treaty, and if like no one can agree on something, he's going to get the final say. And Korea's kind of just going to bribe him to kind of get what they want to Florida. But anyways, the peace treaty will look something like this, with obviously this land here going to this, Florida gain a good chunk of land here. They'll also get this land down here from Louisiana, along with a little bit more land. So that we have the new border there. And this is what it's going to look like now. Now, Florida did want a bit more land from Louisiana. However, Korea did not bribe the leader of this country for that. They did, however, bribe them to get all of the land they wanted from up here, at least what they occupied before the surrender of Carolina, which actually I think is now more so Virginia. So I guess this country is Virginia now. Also, the capital is in like West Virginia or Kentucky, or well, actually not Kentucky, like West Virginia, or maybe like Southern Ohio. Actually, I don't. Maybe it is Kentucky. Wait, I have a map here. I don't know if it doesn't have the states on it though. But if you want to see like where other countries are, like Egg, their capital is like right on the border of Switzerland and Liechtenstein. Actually, I just realized most of Egg's land is actually in Germany. Huh. I've always called eggs. I'm getting off topic now. Anyways, back to on topic. This is the peace treaty. Yeah. Next event in this episode. I'm actually coming down here to talk about this now. This was the colony of the Southeast Asian Union. I forgot to talk about them in the last episode, but they got their independence following the fall of the Southeast Asian Union. And they're actually pretty unstable. The capital is not on the map yet. Let me fix that. The capital of this country is right there. I can't get that sent. Perfect. Wait. There. Right there. However, there are some areas of this country that want to be their own country, so we'll probably see that country collapse soon. However, heading over to Australia, we're going to see the red Australian country. Well, though not really the most stable country in the world, along with that, I have enough countries that are similar colors to Ada's Pro countries. Like, I have brown Dutch and green France and red down here. Well, actually, the red in Ada's Pro's Wixer was up here, but the country started down here. But like red here and I mean it's a different shade of gray, but gray here. There's probably some other countries that you could say look a lot like Ada's Pro's Wixo. But anyways, I need to get rid of some, so red Australia, it's time for you to collapse. As over here, we see, I don't think there's provinces in this area, so I'm just going to draw a line. But anyways, we see that this area over here is going to break away. And soon after, we see this country here start to invade into the red Australian country and take this area here. They're also going to ask for some land over here, but they're not going to invade into that. However, they do sit down with the leader and make a deal to get it. Obviously, they don't invade it because, well, this is our desert. Actually, how would this start in? However, this country's economy is not too stable. So to kind of fix it, they're going to sell some more of this area over to the southern Australian country down here. So they sell a bit of land over there. Now, why does this country want it? Well, this country is kind of using the inner parts to train the military better. And they're kind of turned like the entire outback that they own into a giant military base. Is that pretty realistic? Probably not. But do I care about realism here? No. I mean, Russia didn't get fully claimed until episode 49 in like 19 something. I don't know what year it would be. Anyways, though, heading over here to China, or Chinese, or the Chinese cheese country as I call it because the capital is in the city named Cheese. They're going to do some invading into this country here. So they start sending troops in here. And they are a lot stronger than this country as well. They have ocean access, and this country is landlocked for stars. Along with that, China's cheese has been increasing military a lot recently for a few different reasons. First of all, they want to unite all of the old Chinese lands under their rule. So it's like this country here, this blue country here. Even like this country here, which most of the land, like I don't think China ever owned. And these countries down here, they want to like reunite all of that. If you remember what the old Chinese country, like the original Chinese country looked like, it was like expanded from like this green country here up to this blue country, and like into this country here, and then like all the way down to this country here, and even parts of like Vietnam here, and I think even parts of this country here it used to own. So Chinese cheese kind of wants to unite all of that, and they invaded to this country first, and they'll eventually take the capital before they push over towards the other major city in the cheese province that does not look anything like cheese because I cannot draw. but this country will fall, and they'll get fully annexed into Chinese cheese. With that, we can remove the capital. And Chinese cheese will start to prepare for the next expansion. Why is this country here have two capitals? I think this capital here is from a country that died during after World War II, which was almost 10 episodes ago now, so... Anyways, though. Our next area that we'll be heading over to is the country over here, this fascist country here, and they have some expansion they want to do, and that is expanding into this pink country here, as they push up towards the capital and take it pretty quickly with a lot of support from Korea and other fascist countries. They will also make a landing over here, which this pink country was not expecting them to do, and with this they quickly push over towards this major city. Along with that, they cut this country in half. With this, the southern part will start to fall, and soon after we see the gray country here get involved as they want some old land back, pushing into here. Actually, did they ever own more than just the tip? I don't remember, but they're expanding now and taking this island here. The rest of this will fall over to Cambodia, or wherever this is. But this part here, pretty simple. This country no longer exists as a split between the two fascist countries. Let me fix this up over here. Okay, then. There. So with that, the fascists expand, and a country is wiped off the map. So with that, we can remove the capital. And the next and final event happening in this episode is over here. Well, if you look here, there's two alliances here. That being the Gia Alliance, consisting of these countries here, and also the Right Triangle Alliances. Now, both these countries are going to be adding, not both these alliances are going to be adding some countries to their alliances. With the Gia Alliance adding a country that is historical allies with the red country, that being this country up here. And as for the Right Triangle Alliance, they're also going to be adding two members, the first of which is this country here, which joins for reasons that will be explained in a second, and the other of which is this red country here. Now, both of these countries want some land. This country wants some land from this country here, and this country wants land from both the countries that are in the Gia Alliance that they border. So, with this happening, we are going to, with these countries joining, it's going to kind of worry the Gia Alliance, and worry they should be, because shortly after this happens, we see troops from Yoyland start to push into this blue country here, quickly taking the capital, which was on their border, and quickly forcing the blue country to fall. They'll start push into this green country here, and they start push into this blue country here. Soon after, the red country starts to push into Egypt, and also starts to push into the yellow country here, quickly taking this major city. And this is going to lead to the Gear Alliance declaring war on the Light Triangle Alliance, and the Light Triangle Alliance declaring war on the Gear Alliance, starting the Middle Eastern War, the Arab Peninsula and Northern East African War. I don't know what to call this war, the Red Sea War. I don't know. Give me a name for this war in the comments down below, but this is where this video is going to end. This war will be expanded upon in the next episode, but for now, thanks for watching, and goodbye.